Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tina's Arena. I have been putting a lot of pressure on myself to be the best, to make great content, to make it really super exciting, and that has been causing me to stall because I feel like I don't have time to make interesting content. It is too much effort and too much skill, and I don't have that capacity in me right now. And I know I went through this last year, the exact same process. And I guess it's just another lesson that I have to learn, that I just need to show up. Another thing that I found was that I don't actually consume too much YouTube content myself. And I think that was another reason why I wasn't really making too many YouTube videos, because I don't even spend time on YouTube. But that has changed. I've started running on the treadmill, and to pass the time on the treadmill, I'm now watching YouTube videos. So I feel like I know a little bit more about YouTube. I mean, it's not really research, I'm just a consumer as well. And I want to create for other people to consume. Like, what do I like to watch on YouTube? I'm watching a lot of Mel Robbins. I'm watching people sew, and I'm watching people talk about sewing. And I am basically watching vlogs. And the type of vlogs that I like are people that are being real and just being authentic. So that's what I have to do. That's basically it. Just show up, Tina. It's another lesson that I have to learn again. So here I am 2 months later, after I already said I was going to rebrand my podcast and make it a little bit more chill, a little bit about storytelling. I never uploaded another storytelling video. I had recorded 3, but I didn't like them, so I didn't upload them. So starting from scratch, I have a whole bunch of B-roll. I have so many. I've been recording, guys. I've been recording, but I've not been editing and I've not been uploading, and I just need to get over it. I just need to do it. So today I'm back and I want to talk about my foot. Last year, I had mentioned that I had an injury in my foot, and a doctor told me that it was shattered. And so I went through this whole process. I got x-rays, I got ultrasounds. I even went so far as to get a nuclear radioactive bone imaging scan. And all of those, the ultrasound confirmed that there was something wonky going on. The x-ray said there was no fracture. But I had one doctor that said there was a fracture, another doctor that said there was no fracture, so that still wasn't sitting right with me. So I did ask for the nuclear bone imaging scan. I got that done, and that, I feel, is a conclusive result that said no fracture. So what actually has been happening with my foot this whole time was that it was just inflamed, it was irritated, and I was just overusing it. So I did rest for a long time. I was aware of the injury in August, and I think I completely stopped in September. In between August and September, I was still trying to push running. I was like, I'm not gonna rest, I can't rest. But in September, I surrendered and I just became sedentary, essentially. But the good thing was that I continued going to the gym. I got a personal trainer. So I was active and I was getting stronger, but my cardio was down. I was doing less than 5,000 steps a day. I was basically sedentary from October, November, and December. And now I want to run an ultramarathon this year. And my first attempt is going to be in May, in exactly 12 weeks. So this is how that's been going for me, essentially. The first doctor told me that I had to basically suck it up with my foot, right? I just manage and that's it. And you know what? I guess it was just her delivery that was very off-putting to me, because I thought about it and I am kind of just managing. I am taking painkillers where needed. I am icing the foot and I'm running on it anyway. So I guess I am kind of following her advice when she told me to suck it up and it's gonna hurt for the rest of my life, but her delivery was less than desirable. And I do have a second person helping me now. I don't know if he's a doctor. He's a kinesiologist though. And he's been teaching me exercises on how to strengthen my foot. We have found imbalances that I have, and we're trying to straighten out my hips, which make my legs unbalanced. Like one is longer than the other. So, I am sucking it up, but I'm also doing something to help with the pain for the future, right? So he did not persuade me from not running the ultra. He didn't try to talk me out of it. So I think the ultra is a go. We'll see. But this is the story of me training for my ultra after a sesamoid injury. And if it becomes bad, I am okay with letting it go. I would rather not injure myself again than complete the ultra. That's what I'm saying now. But obviously when I'm on the course and I'm doing the race, that might be a different story. If the injury comes up during training, then I could probably have no problem postponing. But if the injury comes up during the race, that might be a different story. We'll see. So anyway, where am I at? Essentially, just a month ago in January, I found out that there was no fracture. That was when I got the results of my bone imaging scan. It was a month ago. And since then, I have started to up my daily step count because I thought that that would be the best way to get me back into running. I didn't even want to focus on runs. I was just focused on my daily step count. So let's take a look. Yeah. So in October, my daily step count was 6,000 steps. November was 6,000, and December was less than 6,000, just a little bit less. And now in January, it's a little bit over 8,000. And in February, I'm currently just under 10,000 steps a day. So I think that has been really good, slow progress just to build up my base again. And now I'm starting to push it a little bit more with actual runs and longer walks. So I have started doing 5Ks. They're very slow. I'm not really pressed to do them quickly, even though I do have an ultra time goal, but I'm doing it slow because I don't want to injure myself. I've also tried to do intervals last week, and I found that just like the impact of my foot slamming on the ground for power and speed was just too much. My foot got overwhelmed with pain much quicker when I was doing intervals, whereas when I was running at a slow, very slow, comfortable speed, I could run for an hour. So weighing those two options, I'd rather go slow and run for an hour and build up my cardio and like slowly strengthen my foot back up that way. So I'm not focused on speed at all right now. I'm just trying to get mileage in. When I was doing 29 last year, the only thing that they kept trying to instill in our heads was time on feet. Time on feet as much as you can, just be standing. You don't even have to be doing like crazy runs and stuff. Just practice standing all day, every day. And that's basically where I'm at right now. So that's been my run journey so far. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5K runs so far since I've started training again. And I'm feeling good about it. My sesamoid is a little bit irritated right now. I did a 5K this morning, but I'm taking it slowly and seeing where it goes. I would love to know if anyone has tips for me. I've been listening to Rich Roll podcast, and there was one guy who said that I'm not an elite level runner by any means. So for my type of runner, he said, don't worry about speed at all. Just get more mileage, as much mileage as you can. And then listen to another podcast from somebody else, actually also the Rich Roll podcast, but it was a different guest. And he was like, don't worry about mileage. Cross train, do this, do that, do that. And so it's a little bit confusing what to do, but I know that I'm attempting 50 kilometers at the end of this, so I definitely need to increase my mileage because my mileage is about 7 miles a week right now, so it needs to go way up. I'm also planning to do a weekly sauna session so I can get heat adapted, because when you're heat adapted you can do cardiovascular exercise better. And then I've also started wearing a sweater when I run just to further help with the heat adaptation a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be effective. I don't know. But that's it. That's my ultra running marathon goal. So I have 12 weeks to go, and I'll give you guys another update in 2 weeks, and we'll talk about something else next week. Okay, bye.